All right. You can unmute yourself, I think, now.
Yes. Hi.
Hi. Okay. Can you introduce yourself and share your story as much as you want or as little as you want, whatever you're feeling?
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you guys so much for inviting me on. I'm super duper excited to be on this Zoom tonight. And I'm so humbled and so honored. If it's okay with you guys, I normally start every Zoom in prayer. I don't know if that's okay with you, Emily. But yeah, okay. All right. That helps me because then I'm not nervous. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pray over you guys if that's okay. Heavenly Father, I just thank you so much for every single person under the sound of my voice tonight. I just thank you for this incredible Zoom that we get to be a part of. Lord, I just thank you for Emily's team that's on and every team that's represented. I just pray that every single person leave with something specific to them. You know exactly where they are in their journey in this business, whether it be they just started or they've been in the business for years, Father. I pray that you use me tonight to just minister and to be able to encourage everybody. I ask this in your mighty name. Amen. All right, you guys, sorry. I get so nervous if I don't pray, so it just helps me a lot. So I'm super excited. Well, my name's Yami. I am 23 years old and I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I've been in the business now, you guys, for 5 years. And just a little bit of my story. So I basically ran across this business on Instagram, and I'll give you guys a little bit of the before it works because I feel like this will help you if maybe you just got started in the business and you're starting to struggle with these parts of your story that are going to come up. And I truly believe that the things that you go through in this business, like before you get into this business, will impact the way that you show up. And so
Can
um
can I interrupt you for one
yeah.
second? I'm sorry. Guys, I know like maybe you may be busy. I see some of you. Thank you for being present and having your cameras on. Just I ask you to be present tonight because this lady is so amazing. And I know for a fact that if you pay attention just for this short time, you're going to leave with so much value. So if you can turn your cameras on so we can see your faces too, y'all are beautiful. Um, but yeah, please and thank you.
Okay, awesome. And I hope you guys can see me. I don't know if Emily, you're spotlighted or you guys. Okay, all right, awesome. So yeah, basically, you guys, before I started the business, I'm originally from Cuba. I don't know if there's any Latinas on here as well, but I was born there, and we came to this country at a very young age, and pretty much like throughout the first like few years of my life, I started to form my ideas around like what I was worth and what I believed for myself, you know. And so basically, I saw my mom, you know, as a young girl stay in an abusive marriage because she was afraid to leave because we didn't have the finances. And so, because we were in this country and she was an immigrant and she didn't know the language, for literally 6 years, from the age of 6 years old until I was 13, I saw my mom literally take so much from this guy who I knew she was worth more. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever been in an abusive relationship or anything that you knew you shouldn't have stayed in long, like you should have left, but you were like, I don't know what I was thinking. And I stayed in that. And so at the age of 13, my mom actually got the courage to leave when I was 13 years old. And we went from living in like a house to going to a bedroom. It was literally like a room, and she cooked from a like electric stove and slept on an air mattress for over a year. And in that moment in my life, I realized something about like I don't know if you guys have ever had those moments even when you were really young that you felt like God spoke to you. And I wasn't really like a Christian or anything, but I just had this like aha moment where I was like, I don't ever want to be the woman that has to put her children through something just because of finances and because of being afraid that she's not worth it. And so I literally, you guys, at 13 years old, I started to become like the mirror image of my mom. I started getting into like toxic relationships and, you know, doing drugs and doing all of these bad things. And by the time I was 17 years old, I was working 3 jobs and I was going to school full time. And I was just basically like falling into the generational cycle of poverty and lack and struggle. And so when I ran across this opportunity, I was actually 17 years old, which I don't know if you guys you're not allowed to join when you're 17. So basically, I told the girl like that was posting about it, I was like, hey, like I'm really interested, in these raps that you're posting about. And she was like, yeah, it's $59. And I was like, okay, I don't have $59. So I just like ghosted her, and I was like, it's fine. I'm just not going to respond. She's going to forget about me and everything's going to be fine. And then she actually didn't forget about me. She followed up with me. And she didn't know I was 17. So she like followed up with me again and she was like, hey, like, why don't you join the business? We're having an opportunity call. And so I joined an opportunity call, you guys. It was like, this was in 2015. I feel like I'm so old in the business, but we had to like call in. Okay. It was like a call line. And I was just like sitting at the Crunch Fitness after getting out of work. And I was listening to a lawyer and a student tell their story, like completely different people, how they're doing this business. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I want to do this. Now, mind you guys, I was the only person that got on the call. So I was like listening and then they were like, okay, like, do you want to do this business? And I was like, yeah, but I'm 17. And I was like, can I sign up my mom? And they were like, yeah, sure. So I called my mom and I was like, hey mom, like I need your social security for like a scholarship that I'm signing up for for college. And I signed up in the business under my mom, and she didn't really do much with it. You guys, don't worry, this won't go nowhere. Don't tell anybody. I won't tell anybody if you will. So basically, I worked under my mom. Like literally, I was just working the business under my mom's name. And just if you're a brand new distributor, I'm kind of going into this because I feel like all of us go through this. So my first month in the business, you guys, I had no idea what I was doing, and the girl that signed me up quit the second week that I joined. So she literally like ghosted me and she was just like, hey, like I'm not doing this anymore. I hope that it goes well for you. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, where are you going? I thought we were in this together. And so I started panicking inside. So I literally went on YouTube and I looked up like how to be successful and it works, and the only person back then on YouTube was Jade Hooper. So I became like fangirl number one. Like I was watching every single video. And my first month in the business, you guys, I didn't know the difference between a retail customer and a loyal customer. So all of my customers were retail. So I made a lot of money. I made like $150. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm rich. Like I'm going to continue to make so much money in this business. I was like freaking out. And then my second month, you guys, have you ever been here? Like I didn't do anything. I just thought like we were just going to get paid. I didn't know how this worked. So I was like, I got a few customers, so I'm going to get $150 again. No, my paycheck was $20. And so I like started to like figure out, like, I'm like, there's gotta be someone, because I got added to some sort of team chat. So I was like, there's gotta be someone here that knows what they're doing. So I started to like find the girl that I was on the opportunity call with, and I messaged her and I was like, I want to quit. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Don't message someone and just be like, I want to quit. I was like, I want to quit. This business is a scam. I'm not making any money. I just made $20. And she's like, well, are you working? I'm like, well, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. And she's like, you should be posting, messaging, following, doing all this stuff. And I was like, okay, like I'll start doing that. And so I started working the business while working my 3 jobs, you guys. In my 4th month in the business, I still hadn't signed a distributor and I was barely like getting any customers because I was just kind of doing this whenever I could. And so that's like kind of the first lesson if you're like a new distributor listening to this. I honestly never made intentional time for the business. I would just work it whenever I felt like it. And if I didn't feel like it, I just wouldn't do it. And so I was just kind of working it whenever I wanted. And that's the kind of money that I was making, just $20, $30. And I was happy with it, you guys. Like there was no complaining. After I realized that I wasn't working enough to make the money that I wanted, I made a decision that I was okay with the money that I was making at the moment. And it was cool for me until, okay, I heard that there was a $10,000 bonus, you guys. So my 4th month in the business, I found out that there was a $10,000 bonus. Now, mind you, I had only signed one distributor, and it was a girl that I basically forced to do, who was my best friend in like 3rd grade. And she literally quit like too. She didn't do anything. Okay. So I had one person on my team who wasn't even working, and I was like barely enrolling, and I was miserable at my jobs. And I was just still in the same situation that I was when I first started. And I remember like I don't know how else to explain it. And I know some of you guys are gonna be like, really? Here we go again with the whole decision crap. Like everybody says the same thing, but like it really doesn't work for me because I made a decision and I'm still Ruby, whatever. Like I think the biggest thing that we don't realize, you guys, is that making a decision is not just like, oh, I made a decision, but it's realizing that you're not okay with where you are right now, so much so that you're willing to do whatever it takes to figure out how to get to the next level. And when you don't make a decision, if you are taking notes, when you don't make a decision, what happens is you're like, oh, I really want this because it's convenient in this moment. But as soon as it becomes inconvenient for me and it becomes hard and I have to push myself and things are like, breaking in my, like everybody's going crazy in my house and I don't know what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give up. And that same month that I made a decision to make this work for me, my car broke down. Like the front bumper of my car was like barely holding on by a thread. I don't know if y'all have ever had a car that you had to anoint and pray over every single time you got in it so it would turn on. So my car was like, yeah, sis, it's me and you have reached the end of our relationship here, and it stopped working. And I couldn't afford to get it fixed. And then I was like, all right, some things got to give. So I made a decision that I wanted to start making this business a priority. And the first thing that changed for me, you guys, if that's you right now, if you're like, okay, I want to go from like where I'm at to completely changing my business, you've got to become someone that's confident in recruiting distributors. Because the thing that's going to change your business is not only enrolling customers. You have to be someone that's so confident in yourself as a leader that you believe that you can truly have something of value. Can I get an amen in the chat? Y'all a little dry up in here. So, amen, sis. Amen. Okay. I can't raise my hands up too high because I forgot to put on a bra. This is a crop top. Okay. Let me just raise the camera just in case. But you guys, for real, like you have to become confident in being able to enroll distributors, because the only way that you're truly going to get far in this business is by not just you being a rock star, but creating rock stars on your team and being willing to pour that into the people that you're going to bring in. And so there was no one that was willing to listen to me. Drop a one if you've ever wanted to pour into someone like on your team, like you want a team, but you don't got no one. You're like, literally, me and I, solo dolo, like I'm willing to help people, but there ain't no one willing to receive my help. And so what I had to do in the month of January, this was in December, and the month of January was I had to make a decision to learn how to recruit distributors. Okay. Now, you guys heard my story. My car front bumper was falling off. I had no money. I was working 3 jobs. So this whole like BS story that you tell yourself that you can only recruit distributors when you've made money is just absolutely not true. Because I started recruiting distributors with a car that wasn't turning on and barely being able to afford my gas. How I did that, you guys, was I stopped being ashamed of my story. And so if you're taking notes right now, I want you to write that down. What is your story? Some of you guys on here can relate so much to me right now, even though I've only been talking for a few minutes, because you're like, holy crap, this girl like is just like me. We're twins. We've been through so much. Like we're basically besties. Okay. Why? Because you're listening to my story and you have not said, have you guys noticed how I haven't said not one thing about my success? Intentionally, because you cannot relate to that until you can relate to the real, the raw, relatable part of my story, where you can come in and say, okay, you know what, like sis, me too. Okay, where are we going now? Because now that I got you understanding that I know how you feel and I know where you're at, now I can take you on a journey to where are we going, right? And so then I mastered learning and having vision, you guys. So I knew where I wanted to go. I made a decision like diamond is mine. Period. Like I don't know how it's going to happen. Nobody wants to work. Apparently everybody over here is doing it, so I'm going to have to figure this out. And I started to just figure it out. How? By being willing to be vulnerable and share my story, and then by being willing to take people on the journey with me. And that month, you guys, I signed 6 distributors. My goal was 20. I didn't sign 20. I signed 6, but guess what? Okay, those 6, I was like, okay, if I sign 6, I can sign 10, I can sign 20. And I started to build the momentum. And literally from January to April, I was able to take my mom's account to diamond at 17 years old, working 3 jobs in high school. Okay. And that literally changed my entire life, you guys. Because when I first saw that diamond paycheck and I saw there was like a freaking comma in it, I like was literally like, I'm rich. I don't know. You know, this is crazy. Like, who told me, who allowed me to make this much money from my phone? You guys, and literally, I quit my 3 jobs. I pieced out KFC faster than y'all could blink. I literally called my manager. I was like, I love you, but like, no, thank you. This is not for me. Like, I'm out of here. And the thing is, you guys, most of my team was young girls. Like, I don't know if you guys have young girls on the team. You can drop a 2 if that's you. So it was around spring break, summertime. Okay. Guess what? They was all out on the beach while I was like, I'm trying to go diamond. And they were like, nah, sis, it's spring break. And I was like, bet. I'm still gonna go, you know? And God provided for the customers, you guys. And the next month I was going for double diamond and I was just running. But then I hit a roadblock. And again, this is where some of you guys might be. I hit this roadblock where I did not know how to lead. Drop a 3 if that's ever been you, where you're like, all right, I start to have some success, but then it like all kind of crumbled. Like, you know, like I was like doing the things. I thought the worst moment was like not knowing how to enroll, but now I got people, they ain't working. I'm frustrated. I don't want to talk to nobody about coffee. If I get one more message about coffee, I'm gonna delete my social media and go back to KFC. Like I got to that point in my business because I did not know how to lead people. And what changed for me, you guys, was if you're taking notes, I had to stop making it about me and I had to start caring about others. And as a red, if you are a red on here, okay, do not use this as an excuse, okay? Please don't use this as an excuse. But you cannot keep telling yourself, like, oh, I'm a red. I'm not emotional. You know, I just like gotta focus. I just gotta do things. Like, nobody's gonna wanna be around or stick around long enough because you're not willing to care for them as a person. And let's just all keep it 100 on here. Like, we've all been through so much crap in our lives, and we're not in this business to be bossed around. You know, we want someone to lead us, but we don't want someone who doesn't genuinely care about us. And you guys can tell when someone doesn't genuinely care and they're just using you to get to their goal. And honestly, I hate to say it, but that was me. I was 17. I had no leadership skills in my life. I had never done anything like that. And I had to go on a journey. And so, literally within the next year, and a year after I went diamond, I actually started, like, I completely started a fresh account under my name because I turned 18. And I started working towards double diamond on that account. And I started to just build new. And the things that I had to start to learn, you guys, from 18 to literally, I would say 20, I had a lot of growing to do. And I know some of you guys, that might not be your journey. Like Emily's on here, girlfriend's a whole boss. Like she's like double, triple ambassador, you know? And she was just able to just be like, all right, let's go, you know, just do all the things. But I hit this plateau in my business where I had to stop focusing only on my business and I had to take care of Yami. And I know some of you guys don't want to hear this because you're so used to putting all of your crap in a little box and being like, it just doesn't exist. I'm fine. But there's going to come a time in your business and in your life where you're going to have to face you. And you're not going to be able to run from you anymore. And you're going to have to do the work in you to become the person that's worthy of leading the team that you dream of leading. And so when I made a decision that I wanted to go to the next level and I really wanted to have a strong team, I had to face Yami. I had to face the depression that I had been not wanting to deal with, the anxiety that I had not been wanting to deal with, the anger that I had not been wanting to deal with, because I ran to this business to deal with my problems, you guys, and I became so extremely burnt out. And I lost all of my passion for the business because I got so consumed in wanting to make money and wanting to find my identity in this business that it wasn't enough. Have you guys ever gotten to that place where you're making good paychecks? You have the team that you desire, but you're like, ugh, why am I not happy? Because none of that is meant to fulfill you. And none of that is meant to fulfill you. And so what I want to challenge you guys tonight is, let's separate our identity. You are not It Works, and you are not, Emily is not Ambassador Emily. Emily is a whole human being outside of It Works, and she has worth whether or not her business is doing great this month, or whether or not her business is doing bad this month. She has worth whether or not she promotes this year, or whether she doesn't promote this year. And every single one of you guys, the moment that you want to go to the next level, you've got to understand that you cannot tie your worth to your rank. Because I've been in the business for 5 years and I'm a double diamond. Oh my. And I'm talking to you guys on this Zoom right now, and it's speaking to you, right? That means that I have value regardless of my rank. And that ego part of us has to die if we want to be able to go to the next level in our lives. I'm not just talking money, I'm talking as a human being. If you want to wake up every single day, I want you guys to drop a 4 in the chat. If you desire to wake up every single day and just be on fire for life, I'm not saying that you don't have bad days. I'm not saying that you're not going to have days where you have a shitty day. I had a shitty day. I was crying in the closet like 2 hours ago because I was frustrated with this gas shortage in North Carolina. Like, I understand we all have bad days, but you cannot tie your worth to what you produce in your business. I want you to work hard. Hear me when I say this. You have to work hard. You have to make sacrifices to get to where you want to be. But that does not mean that you have to sacrifice your happiness, your joy, your family, and burn yourself to the ground to get to a place where you wake up every single day and you feel fulfilled. So, for the first time, maybe in a Zoom that you've ever been on, I want to ask you what success means to you. What does success mean to Ashley Griffin? What does success mean to Candace Washington? What does success mean to Bailey? What does success mean to, I don't know, I'm trying to look at all the people with the camera, Julie and Leslie and Melissa and Mariah? What does success mean to you? It may mean being an ambassador diamond. That may be what that means to you. But maybe success to you means never having to miss out on a moment with your kids. Maybe success to you means that you get to do what you love every single day, and that you get to wake up and have a life full of purpose. Maybe success to you means that for the first time in your life, you lose all the weight and you look at yourself in the mirror and you love your body. What does success mean to you? And the moment that you stop trying to be someone else in this business and compare yourself, you get to have so much more fun, you guys. Because I freaking love where I'm at in the business. I'm not complacent. I'm working, I'm building, I'm helping my team, but I love it. I wake up and I'm like, I get to sell coffee. Like, this is freaking dope, man. And I get to like talk to people about the Lord, and I'm going to go make my stories, and like do all the things. And there was a time in my life where I like wasn't there, because I literally had got so burnt out because I became so obsessed with this goal that I lost myself. And so I want to give you guys permission tonight to make a decision that you get to be happy right now, and you get to enjoy the journey right now, because there's no arrival. And I know Emily will say this to you guys, you're never going to arrive. There's always another mountain to climb. That's the fun thing about living life, right? Like, that's the goal. We're never going to just arrive. But the moment that you keep trying to just get to arrival, oh yeah, I'll take a day off when I get to triple diamond. Oh no, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll pay more attention to my family when I'm an ambassador. Oh no, no, no. I'll put my health first. Yeah, yeah, but first I gotta go diamond. No, no, no. No sleep here. Sorry, can't feed myself. Gotta run myself into the ground so I can go to diamond. And then what? So I want you guys to remember that the journey in this business is what you're going to be doing. If you're here for life, like I am, hello, forever. I love It Works. For life. You guys know the TikTok song, for lifer. Like literally, like I'm here for forever. Like, I love It Works. It's where I want to be. I love this business. But I have to understand that it's not always a promoting month. You know, it's not always a month that you guys are not always going to be there. So where are you going to find joy in the middle? Where are you going to find joy in the journey? And where are you going to find joy in building? And because of this business, you know, I've been able to completely change my life, you guys. At 23 years old, you guys remember how I told you that we lived in like a room and my mom slept on an air mattress and we literally had nothing? I have my own apartment. It's not this huge place, okay? Chill out, okay? But look at this beautiful furniture. I'm still furnishing. Okay, calm down. But to me, I cried on the floor, you guys. This was like moving into a mansion. I was like, you don't even know where I come from, man. You know, like I was just so happy to like look outside. There's a whole pool, you know, and I'm just so grateful. I'm so stinking grateful for how I'm not gonna start crying. I'm on my period, you guys, so just don't mind me. I'm a little emotional. But I am so stinking grateful, you guys, for how far I've come. And I'm so excited for where I'm going, but I'm no longer holding my happiness hostage just because I'm not where I want to be. And that gives you permission to go literally crush your freaking business and be so excited every single day. Like, be the best freaking coffee dealer. Okay, period. Find purpose in what you're doing and literally lead your team with so much love because you're not trying to get somewhere in this, like, I'm like, if I don't get there right now, I'm literally going to quit. And you're not happy. So, Emily, I'm so sorry. That was like a 50-minute story, but here we are.
No, I was kind of like planning for that to happen in a very good way. All right, we should just end the Zoom right okay, wow. I feel like I knew your story about you being 17, but I forgot. So when you said it again, I was like, "Oh my god, I forgot about that."
Yeah.
You're so funny. I have so many notes and so many things that I wanted to talk about, but wow. Okay, so the first thing is, and I wrote it in the chat. We had a. I'm not sure if you were on the call with Jade and Cami last week.
Mhm.
But Jade was on, or we have like a leadership call, guys, if you don't know. And something that she said that stuck with me and probably forever will is something I already knew, which I feel like when you get like an aha moment, you're like, oh, I already knew that. It's just the way that someone said it. And she said success is a identity process. And it's so true. It's so true. It is, it's like you guys all have the resources that you need and the mechanics that we have, post to post, reels, TikToks, I mean, stories, like, even back when we joined, both of us in 2015, it was the same thing. We post, we message, we grow our network, and we follow up. Like, the mechanics are still the same. You don't need to, there's not this, you guys ever see like these advertisements where it's like, I don't know, like something with network marketing, like never messaged someone before kind of thing. Like, that's
Mhm.
all BS. Like, it's truly, we talk to people, as many people as we can about the products and the opportunity, right? You guys know what to do. And um, even your story, exactly, that was the first thing I wrote. You had no upline. Like, guys, you have it so good. Like, seriously, even I still, had a great, and Cassie, who I joined, she helped me, I had a lot of support. But today, like, guys, you have everything you need just on YouTube still, just like you said, to make it to the top of the company by yourself. So truly, what it is one, what you said, making the decision and actually making the decision, right? And some people are here for different reasons. And I know that me and you actually had this conversation forever ago.
Mhm.
Um, like, we're all here for different reasons. Like, we all have our own story, and that's what makes you unique, no matter what you're thinking. So don't dare tell yourself that you don't have a story, because you do. Like, we may have some similarities, all of us, of course, but like, all of our stories are completely different, right? That's what makes you unique, 100%. So it's making that decision, like you said, Um, and then working intentionally, right? So I love how you said that. Um, just like how many of you just make that, I can't even tell you how many times that I've made the decision, make the decision every day.
Yep.
Literally, I wake up and I'm like, I'm promoting, we're triple diamond 2.0 this month. And we've been triple diamond. I mean, we've been double 2.0 for over a year, right? But I wake up, every day thinking that. But there are certain days where I know where I actually truly make that decision and I'm like getting to work. And you guys got to figure that out. You got to figure out what fuels you, right? I don't know if I feel like that's actually a good kind of question to go into for people who maybe that are like searching for that feeling. You guys know what I'm saying? Is anyone drop a one if you're like searching for or like waiting for like what does that decision mean? Like how am I supposed to feel? Like is it the right time? Like am I capable? Like maybe you have doubt, whatever, like maybe doubts you have where you're just like searching and waiting, like what is it supposed to feel like? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. You guys, I think it's so different for everybody. And I'll continue to go back to this because I feel like in this business, like I don't know, maybe it's just my own perspective, but for a long time, I felt like if I'm not an ambassador diamond, like I'm not like I need to be at this level. Like if I'm not at this place, then, what am I doing? Like I'm wasting my time doing this business. And so I wasn't happy doing the business and I wasn't making a decision like for myself to show up for what I wanted because I felt like I was too small. And so maybe for you guys, the first place that you need to start is to be okay with what you desire is like a big deal to you. Okay. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry, Julie. I'm gonna pick on you, Julie. You're right there in front of my screen. So let's say Julie's like, sis, Ruby is like triple diamond to me. I want to be a Ruby so freaking bad. It's gonna change my life. This is what I want. Like, and she knows why she wants it, she's going to work so much harder for that than if you're trying to like make her go for something that she doesn't want that. It's overwhelming and it's too much. So I love Eric Thomas, you guys. If you don't know who Eric Thomas is, he's the man. And he says, you can't make me want what I don't want. And I think the times that I wasn't motivated in my business was because I was trying to be someone that I wasn't. And I was trying to do all this extra stuff that was burning me out and was overwhelming me, and I wasn't happy. So I know what I want. And so I know that I never want to go back to a 9 to 5. I know that I want to be able to do ministry full time like I do right now and be able to help my team and make a full time income from my phone that allows me the freedom to do what I love to do. That's what I want. And I'm going to continue to work for that. And I'm going to continue to help my team go for what they want too and build the leadership and do the work. And so if you're like, I don't know how it feels to make a decision or when I'm ready, like you're making it way too big. Like you're trying to, and I know like we're all about go for big things and all of that. If that's what you want, like if you're on here and you're like, no, Yami, I'm trying to go like triple presidential tomorrow, like all of that, then don't listen to this part. But for those of you guys that are feeling stuck and you're like, dang, like I'm just trying to like get my 6 customers, like sis. It's a struggle out here. Like I ain't even got one message back. Everybody ghosted me. Like, what you mean? I'm listening to you, but as nobody's responding to me, nobody's joined my team yet. Like maybe you're there. Like be okay with being there and work through that and make that decision there. There's no like feeling that you're gonna have, but you've got to know like what is a logical, realistic step that you can take that you're not gonna crush under the pressure. Now, if you're like, I don't know, Emily, if you're like this, but maybe Emily is like, no, sis, if I put a mega huge goal out there, that motivates the crap out of me. I get it done. See, if I put a mega huge goal out there, I just crush. I crush. I'm like, okay, that's a lot. Like I really, that ain't gonna happen. So like, why are you saying that? Like to me, that's too overwhelming. And I go into like fight or flight mode. I'm like, this is too much, and I like freak out and I don't do anything at all. And I know what to do. Y'all stop being fake because I know some of y'all do that too. Okay. So I know that that's what I do. So I know myself. So I can get on a Zoom with Jade tomorrow, who I love and adore, and she's amazing. And she's gonna be like, go get big goals, Yami. And I'm gonna be like, yes. And I'm gonna set a small goal for myself today that I can accomplish and do that's not gonna lead me into a panic attack because I get so overwhelmed and then I don't do anything. So know who you are. If you're the girl that's like, big goals, let's go, freaking grind, I'm going triple diamond tomorrow, like, yes, do it. Go be that girl, make that decision. It's gonna be a loud decision, everybody's gonna know about it. For me, that makes me wanna go throw up and cry and then hide from my team for like 10 weeks. So that doesn't work for me. So what works for me is like, okay, what am I going to do right now? And what are my goals? What is my focus? What do I know I can actually do that's going to move the needle forward? And so that's how I make a decision, you guys. It might not work for you guys, but just knowing yourself, don't put yourself into freaking fight or flight mode because you're trying to be, this person that you're not and it's too much for you. So know exactly what you need and what's going to move the needle forward. And some of you guys, you needed to hear that because you have this shitty mindset of all in or nothing. And you're not in a place in your life where you can be all in right now. And so you're beating yourself up and you're doing nothing. When if you were just doing a little with the time that you had, when you were in a better place mentally, spiritually, whatever, you would be able to be so much further along. And I think of this in fitness, you guys, like, I know we don't think of it like that in business, but if I go to the gym right now, it would be absolutely stupid if I haven't worked out in 7 years to try to go pick up 100 pounds. I'm gonna look like an idiot. Like, it's not gonna happen, right? So I gotta start at start. So what's your start? Where are you right now? Really? Like, I know we can be very positive, okay? We're all positive polys as leader. We're like, no, Yami, my business isn't even that bad, okay? I have no one working, but I'm going triple diamond today. No, like, where are you actually? Like, how many people do you actually have working right now? What do you actually need for your next promotion? And what is your plan? Friend, sis, bestie, call your leader. Like, hello, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like, I'm trying to like do this, but like it's not working. So instead of pretending like you know what you're doing, humble thyself and call your leader and be like, yo, Melissa, I don't know what I'm doing. So please help me. I'm sorry, Melissa, you're right under my screen. I just picked on you. Like, please help me. Okay. So I would encourage you guys, know exactly where you're at and make a decision to stop faking it. Like, I don't like stop pretending like you know what you're doing. Stop pretending like you're not discouraged. Stop pretending like you're not angry at where you are in your business and go talk to someone about it and get the help that you need so that you have a plan. And sis, mind your business. Like, what do I mean by that? Like, be the CEO of Mind Your Business Ministries, okay? Stop trying to be everybody else and mind your own freaking business. You don't have another team, okay? You have the team that you have. You don't like it? Go find new people. Go love on the ones that you have. You don't like your customers? Okay, be a better customer service rep. You don't like the social media platform that you have? Show up better. No one else is going to change it for you. And so I think a lot of times in this business, we're waiting for someone to come fix it for us, but you are the CEO and you need to mind your business, you know? And so that would be my encouragement. You guys stop waiting for a feeling. You're never going to feel like, okay, this is the right time. But I know, like, I'm just going to keep it 100 with you guys. I know right now, this month is not the moment for me to promote. I don't have solid leaders where I want them. I don't have the volume where I want it to maintain. But does that mean that I'm not building for it? Absolutely not. Like, I'm like, all right, we need to build this, but I know what I'm working for. I have something that I'm working on. Okay, I don't know if that answers your question, Emily. I am very long-winded. You can only get 2 questions out in this Zoom.
It's fine. No, it's so good. And your like analogy of the gym, it definitely like it. I don't know about you guys, but that was like it made so much sense to me. like that. I've never heard that before. And it's just, it's so true. These allergies are kicking my booty right now. But I think sometimes like with reds, or like, Jade definitely has a personality. Jade's a great example. We all love her. I mean, literally most of us are the reason why we're here. Um, she is percent, never mind. You guys get what I'm saying. But I think sometimes we take it the wrong way sometimes, especially if you're new. Um, I always preach, and I think you would agree, you never want to settle, right? So let's say you just got your first 6 low customers and you're on here right now, and you're kind of just like, okay, like I'm just trying to figure it out still. Like in situations like that, or in situations like maybe you promoted to executive or you just promoted to Ruby, you're just like, you're celebrating for way too long, right? Should you celebrate? Heck yeah, 100%. But you always want to have vision on that next step, on that next level, so that you're going after something and you have clarity, like what you brought up earlier today, for sure. Wow, so good. I'm like, I don't know. I don't even, I'm like breath take. You took my breath away. I guess kind of the last thing, so I know we only have like 10 minutes, but I wanted to actually start this when you talked about um how you have to have confidence in recruiting distributors, essentially. So I feel like, and creating like rock stars, I mean, feel like we maybe all have heard this, like, you can promote to Ruby, Emerald, maybe Diamond on your own, maybe, but like truly, if you don't want to burn yourself out, you need leadership, right? And or if you want to promote quicker, you got to enroll distributors, so kind of like both ends there. And whether maybe you're on here listening and you're in the position where you haven't enrolled your first distributor yet, or maybe you have and you are going through this like mindset thing of confidence with it, and like leadership, or maybe you do consistently enroll and you have been trying to get to that next level, and you don't, maybe you're saying to yourself, I can't be a mass distributor enroller kind of thing, and you have those limiting beliefs. So if you can just give some advice around that, distributor enrolling and maybe like confidence. Oh, I gotta unmute you. Oh crap, where are you? Okay, I think you're good.
I'm so sorry. I just started like coughing so bad.
You're
I was like, I don't want to like startle these people. I have allergies too, you guys. No Rona here. It's just pollen. Okay, so I would honestly say, Emily, just one of the things that you were just saying too, with the whole like, I think I had to come to a realization that there's a difference between being like, and I learned this actually from Morgan. It helped me so much. I did a Zoom with her. There's a difference between being stuck at a rank and just like sitting at a like being stuck in a rank. Like you guys know what I'm talking about. Like you're like, I'm so stuck. Like, and if you're a new distributor, just like I don't know, just ignore this part because it might not make sense. I'm sorry. But you might be like stuck at a rank, okay, where you're like, oh my gosh, like no one's working, nothing's happening, no one's promoting. Like you have all hell's breaking loose at that rank and nothing's really happening. That's a shitty place to be. Okay. Like, sorry for the curse word, but like it's a bad place to be and you don't want to be there. Okay. So that is different than when you're like building at a rank and things are happening. You just haven't gotten to the place where that next level is ready. Okay. Like you need more volume. You just need more leaders. You're developing. There's a difference. So you've got to identify, are you stuck right now? Like nothing's happening. You're not enrolling. You don't know what you're doing. Like all of those things. You've been at this rank. You're miserable. Your team isn't doing anything. nobody wants to be there, and you've got to get yourself out of there. And that's what we're talking about, enrolling distributors. But who the heck is going to want to join your team if all you're doing is speaking all of this negative crap over your freaking business, you guys? So first things first, stop being so negative over your business. Like, go talk to your leader. And yes, I don't know, like, let's say you go talk to Emily. I'm just gonna keep picking on Emily. Sorry. Let's say Emily's my leader, and I'm like, Emily, I'm at Double Diamond. Nothing's literally happening. I'm talking like no one's enrolling on my team. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not enrolling. I'm in a negative headspace. What do I need to do? That's what I would do if I was you. But then don't go and talk like that over your team and over yourself every single day. I'm gonna go talk to Emily, but I'm going with a solution mindset. I'm not trying to stay there. Okay. So if that's you, that's your homework after you get off the Zoom. Okay. You're going to go talk to your leader. You're going to go have a conversation, and you're going to be like, this is exactly where I'm at. This is where I want to be. Can you help me break through this mentality? Yes, friends? Yes. Okay. Now, if you're building and you're like, okay, I'm building, I'm just struggling with some of you guys jumping, from double to triple, triple to presidential to ambassadors is not the same thing as going from ruby to emerald. Okay. Like, you have to build leadership, and you have to grow as a leader, and you cannot, I can enroll enough to build a diamond from the ground up and fill every single box. Am I going to? No. Why would I do that to myself? I'm going to have to maintain that next month. And I can make triple diamond pay as a double diamond if I'm building correctly. Does that make sense, you guys? So as I'm building to the next level, I am building leadership. What do I mean by that? You should be in communication with your team every single day. Like, and I'm not every, depending on the size of your team, hear me. Depending on the size of your team will depend on how this will look for you. But your new distributors, you need to respond to. Stop being such a people pleaser. Your leaders know what they're doing. The people that need your attention is your newbies. Your newbies do not know what they're doing. Talk to them first. If my leaders message me, they've been in the business for 5 months, like, they know what they're doing. And they're like, hey, Yami, like, how do I fix my application? I'm like, sis, Google it. Like, I'm not doing that. No, nah, not today. All right. I got my new distributor here who's trying to get her first post up. She's a higher priority. I'm not saying that I don't pay attention to my older distributors, but like, yo, I only got so much time in the day. So my new distributors need my first priority and my potentials. And then I'll get to my leaders. That's what I do one-on-ones with. So I hope you're taking notes. So that's the first thing. So before you get to enrolling, you've got to create a system so that when you start enrolling, you're not like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like, everyone's coming to me. Like, I haven't showered in 3 days because I literally am so overwhelmed. Like, you don't want that. You need to know, like, you need to be prepared for what you want. Okay. So if you want a lot of distributors, are you ready for that? Do you have the space in your schedule to coach them? It's not cute, you guys, to post you signed 10 distributors, but you didn't get any fast starts. Who gives a crap if you signed 10 distributors if you didn't get any fast starts? Like, if you didn't help them actually get their shopping sprees. So we're not going to be like celebrating just the distributor sign up. We actually need to help these people. When you sign them up, that's the beginning of the work. Again, it's going back to the whole journey stuff. So that's the first thing, you guys, that I would recommend for you is, like, before you go and try to be a mass recruiter, do you have a system in place? Do you know exactly what you need to do to onboard these people? Do you know where to plug them in? If not, you need to set up a one-on-one with your leader staff so that you can remove that confidence barrier that you need to go start recruiting. Okay? Because some of you guys aren't recruiting because you're like, I don't know what the hell to do when I sign them up. Well, because you're not asking. Why haven't you asked? You're on every single stinking Zoom. And you're like, damn. Like, I still don't know what to do. Why? You haven't asked. You haven't asked. Okay. So that's going to help you to have the confidence, is knowing where you're going. Okay. Stop being stuck at where you're at. Stop speaking this like negative BS over yourself. You're not stuck. You're building. You're going to the next level. You're enrolling. You're helping your team. It's going to happen. Okay. Period. Like, it's going to happen. Now you need to go start recruit. How do you start recruiting, you guys? Share your freaking stories. Like, I talked about this at the beginning. If you're not sharing your story, how are you going to recruit distributors? Nobody wants to enroll with someone who, like, they don't know. And I know that you guys are like, oh, well, no, like I can just post a bunch of flyers and like everybody's gonna join me. Cool. They may not do anything though, because they don't even connect with you. They don't know you. They don't like, they're like, I'm just here. They're like, I don't even know. Like, so you've got to build a relationship with your distributors and you've got to care about them. So, how you do this is get on a FaceTime with them when you enroll them, get to know them, ask them questions, hear their why. Like, really care for your team. And I mean, how I recruit distributors, you guys, I mean, if you want to know like the logistical stuff, because you're like, sis, tell me exactly what you're doing. I'm literally doing everything that you guys do. I'm posting on my stories, I'm posting on my social media, I'm doing TikToks. You can literally go follow me. But none of that matters if internally you're telling yourself, no one wants to join my team. When they sign up, they're not going to work. I don't know how to coach my people. No one's promoting. I'm stuck. I suck at this business. You're not going to go anywhere. So fix the mindset behind the lack of enrollment and then go do the work. Because then when you do the work and you produce the results, you're not going to sabotage those results. Drop a 5 in the chat if you guys have ever gotten like 50 bajillion host posts up and then never sent one message out to those people. Or you posted and someone swiped up on your story and you freaked out and you didn't respond to them. Or you got up some sort of video like and you started to get, y'all are lying, fake. I call BS. You've all done it at least one time in your business. Why? You did the right thing, right? Like, because all of us think the issue is that we're not getting results, right? You've told yourself, oh no, the reason why I'm not enrolling is because like people aren't messaging me and I'm not getting results. No, the issue why you're not enrolling is because you don't believe that you can, and you don't believe that you're worthy of leading the team that you say you so badly want, or you wouldn't self sabotage. You would do what you know to do, right? So it's not that you don't know what to do, is that you don't believe you're worthy. So how you fix that is by speaking life over yourself, doing self development, working on you. Yes, for the people in the back of the room of the Zoom, okay, on the last screen with your cameras off, I'm talking to you too. Stop self-sabotaging. But I feel like the back of the room is the people with no cameras on. No shade to y'all. I love you too. Maybe you're in the bathroom. I mean, all of you guys are in the bathroom at the same time. How convenient. But just make sure that you guys understand that a lot of times the issues with enrolling is not that you don't know what to do, is that you literally don't believe that you're worthy of the results. And so you do the work and then you freaking freak yourself out, man. And then you're like, I can't respond to the people. Like, I don't know what to say. I was going to say the wrong thing. Just respond. Just send the message. Just do what you need to do and get out of your own way, you guys. And I just want to say this for anybody who maybe you've never heard anybody tell you this, because maybe you don't have a leader and you are in a big team and you feel alone. Like, you are worthy, you guys. Listen to me. Look at me right now. I'm talking to you. You, yes, Mariah. Yes, girl. I feel your eye contact. You are worthy. Like, you didn't come into this business. You are the main character. Period. Like they say on TikTok. You are the main character. Like, you can go have success in this business. You can be the next person that Emily hosts on this Zoom, because she's not going to have me back because I talk way too much, but like, you could be the next person that she has on this Zoom sharing your story because you went and decided that you were worthy and that you can truly do this, you guys. Like, I believe in all of y'all. We're all like basically best friends after the Zoom, and y'all are going to go do big things and then be like, Yami, guess what? I freaking did it. Like, whatever your success thing was, you're gonna be like, dude, I went and lost 30 pounds. I feel like I'm just like feeling myself, or I went ruby, or I got my shopping spree, or I went, diamond, or you went and Emily went ambassador, freaking black diamond. I don't know what you said at the triple diamond. I don't know. But you went and you did what you needed to do, and you believed in yourself, and you enjoyed the journey, and you had so much freaking fun. Like, all of y'all are gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, dude, I'm gonna own this coffee story. It's gonna be the best coffee story I ever made. Cause you're just gonna have so much joy in the process, you know? And so I hope that answers your question, girl. I mean, y'all can go watch my TikToks. They're really not that serious. I just copy Nayara. Honestly, don't tell Nayara.
No, I did. Gosh, thank you so much. If you can you sorry, allergies again. Can you drop your social media names in the chat if you don't mind? And y'all have like 1 minute. So if you're committed, you
I'm
have
trying to
one.
go fast.
If you guys want to go find her, awesome. Gosh, thank you so much. You can talk all you want, but if you guys want to listen to her talk more, she goes live very often. Um, so if you need, if you need some yummy fuel, you just find out when she goes live on her social media, and then you just commit to it. So I appreciate you so much. Thank you. And that's it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm full, like just from her energy tonight. And I know we all appreciate you so much for getting on and just speaking life. And I know God spoke through you tonight for sure, because that was fire.
I love it. Well, you guys, we're gonna take a picture, well, video thing, because I need to post y'all on my social media. um, if that's okay.
Do you want me to keep you spotlighted, or do you want
Oh,
to
I have it on gallery view. It doesn't
Oh,
matter.
you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Okay, everybody's. Here's what's gonna happen. Okay, you get a free pass. It's okay if you had not had your camera on this entire time. I will not judge you. Turn it on right now for the picture. Okay, ready, you guys? We're gonna do a video first. I'll send it to Emily too, so you guys can post it. Are y'all ready? Everybody smile. Okay, it's a video slash picture, so I'm gonna like go around, so just stay smiling. Okay. Yay! Okay, next page. Just keep smiling. I love it. And then it's just like a bunch of screens. Okay, I got it. I think I saved it, hopefully. Thank you, Emily. Y'all give her some love. Like, she's your leader. She's incredible. Y'all let
Thank
her.
you, and your team for getting on too. Y'all rock.
All
Appreciate
right.
it. Anytime.
Bye.
Bye.